found out about Yulan only a few months after I did the last year's Sorta'Thon, and after watching some of his videos, I knew what I was gonna do this year. One winter afternoon, I set out to find myth videos that don't care about authenticity or about how true they are, just videos that are batshit.
Do life like it's no tomorrow.
And that's how I found Paranormal Project. I mean, you can just tell by the banner. Myths, legends, secrets, gameplays, and Herobrine's just there. No label, he just likes to watch. I'm just gonna say it right now. I love these videos. If you ever wondered what videos I watch over and over again every now and then, this is one of them. I would also like to mention that Yulan is Hungarian. So this guy is literally above me. Paranormal Project starts with its first video in 2008. And yes, as of this recording, to this day, all of them have all the tags spammed in the description. Now that's 8 years of dedication. Well, you all know I'm a sucker for things that existed almost a decade ago. So let's start from there and watch the other videos I have selected for today. Oh no, I can't read that. So this is a timeline displaying the 3 phases of GTA San Andreas Myth videos. As you can tell, Paranormal Project 1 takes place entirely in the first phase. A couple videos after that is kind of a strange hybrid of the first and last phase. And then pretty much after that it's just completed the third phase. So you know, if you watch myth videos from the first phase, you know, expect stuff like heavy metal. Now I don't know a lot of languages, and this is one of those that I don't know, but I'm willing to guess that this is, you know, pretty standard stuff. Show some mysterious or spooky screenshot, have text explain what it is. You know, there's a lot of videos that were like that back then. Unless it has like jokes or something, which I can't, you know, tell. It does have faces, so it may be. Back then, faces, you know, they were the joke of the sentence. You know, you just put a smiley face in there and you're like, yeah, thank you, I'll be here all week. But hey, at least he wasn't a fuckhead and deleted his oldest video. Like me. Alright, next. Now, I actually parodied his intro from the beginning of this video, so let's take a look at that then. First, you got Leatherface, which you can tell because it looks nothing like Leatherface. There's Bigfoot, just chilling, being off-center and everything. Then you got K.A.A.C, because of course that's a true myth. Look at him. He's in the game. He's right there at the screenshot. Hey, you got the shark. There's a shark, I guess. There's fucking nothing there, but that's the shark. Of course, we can't forget about UFO. I heard it stands for ungrounded flashing orb. Throw in some pareidolia for good measure. Yada yada yada, unknown approaching, paranormal project, you get the idea. Now that there was the spooky intro, let's see what it transitions to. That's a bit of a tone shift. Here we see him looking for the corrupt cops myth, of course. But just as he finds like 2 cops beating the shit out of a French guy, he turns around and boom! Fucking hell, he shoots shit out. Now we cut to some not as intense stuff here, though the music does not change. I mean, editing the music out and replacing it with something else, well, that would have just cost an extra forint. Here we see him trying to observe the suicidal photographer, which, if you needed a refresher, are people that take a picture and then walk inside the water because their AI is shit. Here we see him trying to prevent the person from jumping in the water with his car. That's a little extreme. That's like trying to prevent a person from shooting themselves by lobbing a grenade at him. And that's the first proper Paranormal Project video. Are you convinced yet? Alright, ghost cars. The boy found some new ghost cars then. I mean, they're technically not called that. They're called, you know, they're just broken Glendales. Or Glen shit as it's called in the files. Next, we have the Mothman. And he points out that these statues, they look like Mothman, but they're not actually statues of Mothman. They're something completely different. Actually, every time I go to school, I see these statues on a building that look incredibly similar to those. Does that mean I have hot young Mothmen in my local town? Right, so here's an example of why I like these videos. It's because the creator has a vivid imagination. Anything remotely strange that he spots, he either accepts it as proof of a myth or just an entirely new myth. Here we see that he realizes that there is a pattern on the roof of the house, that there is an SOS, even though it should technically be SOS, but you know. Now this is the first instance of this, but trust me, later on it just gets crazy. That is the first and last time he ever used that outro. Next, he covers the shark myth. Here in screenshots, he just points out that in multiplayer, sharks are common. In single player, They're not. But hey, at least it was eventually proven that they do exist in single player, unlike in his intro. I'll be honest, the only reason I covered this video at all is to make that joke. Next, here we see him try to cover the myth of animals that aren't underwater or in the air. And for this, he presents us with the trailer for the PS2 version. Now, observe this and tell me what you find odd about how he presents this. Out of all the types of music to use from Silent Hill, you use the dentist drill one. Now he's doing the ghost horn sound. And if you listen carefully, you can still hear the Silent Hill music. So eventually, he hears a ghost horn. And then he tells us to go away. Okay, I guess I will. Now this is where shit gets good. Next up is the cane killer. Now I know what you're thinking. What the fuck is a cane killer? I don't know, but the beginning of the video says must see. There isn't even an intro. The must see isn't even in the title where you'd expect it to be. But again, I guess we gotta must see this. Here we see him arriving to the town, exploring around as the Resident Evil soundtrack gets closer. Now if you're good at noticing patterns, check this one out. So besides that being probably fake, you may have noticed how in his videos you get the impression that he kind of overexcites this. This guy loves making mountains out of molehills, okay? Any little thing that happens is like intense or a new myth. And this is no more evident than it is in the Black Dot video. Over here, he's just looking around, and all of a sudden... That's quite a lot of suspenseful music for an event such as the nothing. I'm a short-sighted boy. I didn't see shit. All I saw was just horror music playing all of a sudden. Now, to explain what this is actually a true thing. But what it actually is it's a rogue raindrop that is just one, and it's inverted for some reason, making it look like black. I have no idea how this game functions whatsoever. Next, he covers a myth he found, because of course he would. This one he calls the Antisocial Ghost, and I can already hear about 1,000 people in the comment section going, same, to which I say, that's a funny meme. Go collect your medal in brevity. No, but really, what happens? He drives by a guy that was dangerously close to the road. He then despawns when he's far enough, and, you know, it's a ghost. A ghost or a new suicide, people? I mean, this isn't all that paranormal. There's always a senile shit that doesn't know where the fuck he is, and then disappears when you're far enough. I mean, out of sight, out of mind, out of render distance, out of mind. He calls him the Antisocial Ghost because of, like, some poster for a band or some shit that's called Antisocial, and there's a connection. I have no fucking clue. Yulan's making new myths left and right. Here we see him discover Toreno the Spy. So he spends half the video going around in a spooky forest until the 3, a strange creature alert flashes on the screen. That's one of my favorite alerts, right up there with 16 Danny DeVito. It's kind of rude to call Toreno a creature. It's as if he's not even a person. And apparently that vertical blurry turd in the branches is supposed to be him. And when he replays back the footage, it's clear as fucking daylight. Yeah, that's legit. Remember? I mean, I guess I do. Right, listen to this next segment and tell me what you can conclude.
Where are you? You giving me the heebie-jeebies, man.
Carl, I will always be watching, or listening, or both. Carl, I will always be watching, or listening, or both. Carl, I will always be watching, or listening, or both. Carl, I will always be watching, or listening, or both.
Right, so I think he will always be watching, or listening.
You're gonna die.
Hey, I got a little surprise for you here. You ready for this? Huh? Answer it.
He's a fucking wizard! And to finish off the video, he just says, this tree, and then climbs up it. I don't know what this means. Maybe that's supposed to be like where Toreno was. I can't read minds. At least not Hungarian ones. Next, he finds another myth called the telephone myth. And I think this video perfectly displays how crazy this guy is. There's a phone in an apartment that starts with 333, and every other phone number in the game starts with 555, except for the Well-Stack's Pizza's codes. He acts like everything is an ARG. Then he just goes inside the pizza place and starts taking pictures of anything and everything, including the safety poster, whatever the fuck. And then he examines it in MS Paint, and he's like, maybe a people. Maybe it is a people. Just a bug or a smile? Well, I think the word you were looking for is face, because that looks like a frown. Also, if you're making a multi-million-dollar game, why would you be like, I'll put a face on a pizza? And he like highlights a random part of the picture. I don't even know what I'm looking at, and I'm just here sitting wondering what this has to do with phones. Then he just becomes borderline obsessed with the number 3 and starts looking everywhere for anything in threes like he's Nikola Tesla. And he points out a picture on the wall that everybody uses as evidence for any myth ever. And that's pretty much the end of the video. Now, I am doing this a bit out of order and I'm going ahead of myself, but I have little to say about this, so I might as well cover it now. The K.A.A.C corpses is a myth that he found, so, you know, it's probably fake because he's the only one that found it, and, well, have you seen the rest of his videos? But he just, like, goes into a containment site or whatever the fuck, and he just finds 3 dead 10 pennies on the wall. He just, like, 3 copies of the main antagonist of the game on the wall. That's so fucking stupid. Imagine if in Isaac you just enter a room and there's just 3 moms on the wall. And yeah, that's literally all I had to say about that. Next! Now it's time for the scariest thing ever. Polar bears. Do you see snow anywhere on this map? Yeah, I didn't think so. There is the weathercock, which is on the barn, and here we see the weathercock on something else. And look, it looks like a bear, or a cow, or any domestic animal, really. It can even be a deformed chicken, you know? I know there's been a lot of moments where I just shut up and show you a clip, but here's a section of the video, and just tell me if it sounds familiar.
You know, car mods, low riders, all that shit. You down? Do polar bears shit in the woods? 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 I'm opening the garage and door.
Oh, I know the answer to this one. Do polar bears shit in the woods?
Low riders, all that shit. You down? Do polar bears shit in the woods?
Yeah, that is an answer. It's called answering the question with another question. And whatever the answer to that question is the answer to the first one. It's a joke thing that Americans do for some reason. Garage, car mods, lowriders, and bear! You know, Yulan does kind of remind me of The Truth. In fact, I'm not completely convinced that this isn't just The Truth's YouTube channel. Next, he covers Bigfoot, though I'm pretty sure that myth was already confirmed due to this picture. But hey, maybe I'll find something interesting in the woods after all. And hey, if you like sped up footage of a guy driving around in the woods in San Andreas while randomly zooming into random places, only to point out that there's fucking nothing there, and yeah, this video's right up your alley. As per usual, he just points out a blurry figure in the background that could literally be anything. And there you go, 80% true. That was a waste of my time. But now, the grand finale. Now, Leatherface is a special GTA San Andreas myth, because not only did I get my name from this myth, but this guy apparently found him. This is why I put this out for the end of the video. This is revolutionary stuff here, people. This guy went all out with this investigation. He waited for the perfect day, the perfect weather, the perfect time, a Glendale spawning, and finally, he finds something.
Oh my god.
Oh man, this is intense. He could show up behind that window anytime. Oh wait, I didn't see anything. I mean, granted, I didn't see the black dot either, and that's actually a true myth. So let's see him clean up the footage a bit and see if he can show us anything. He's glad about it too. He's just like, finally, after 1 million years of searching, I have finally found another blurry shape. In conclusion, these videos are way more entertaining than they should be. And Yulan day? Yulan, if you're watching this, I love you. Take my moonshine.